not having strong opinions like you're saying about your grandfather. Of course, he's reflective of an era that he came from, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're 60 years old, you reflect that era. If you're 50 years old, if you're 30 years old, you carry the ideas of your parents, there's no doubt. You carry the ideas of the environment from which you were born. I think we started this show off talking about everything's connected. That's what motive cosmic therapy is. But as a 10-year-old little girl, not little girl, you're very preteen, tweens, I think is what they're calling them now.
Yeah. Oh, wow, good job.
What grade are you in?
5th.
Okay. In the 5th grade, what are some of the issues that you think are important and that should be addressed and not spend so much needless time debating things such as you were talking about that your grandfather does, that you think he just ends up in a ditch because what he's saying doesn't go anywhere? I mean, that's what you were telling me, that when you're discussing things with him, he's not going to change his mind. So what are some of the issues that you think as a 10-year-old child are issues that need to be addressed in the world today?
Well, as I said before, people influencing people to do stuff, like my sister who's in middle school, and I have a middle school and a high schooler who can tell me issues about there, because in middle school, I'm going to middle school next year, which is like 25 days, but then there's issues in there that get bigger, like influencing people to do drugs is in high school, but they can still influence people to do other bad things. So influencing people in drama is a big thing in my house.
Okay, well talk to me about drama, honey. What do you mean? You know, Kim Kardashian is drama. Yet you love to watch her. For entertainment, is that why you do it? For the idea that she has so much money because she's so pretty? I mean, tell me, do you think that that is an influence on young people? And is it a positive or is it a negative influence, honey?
Or another influence would have to be seeing people on TV who have all this, Kim Kardashian, who has like all this money, all these shoes, all this clothes. They want to do stuff like that, so they start thinking of bad ideas to get all that stuff.
Oh.
Or changing their personality. Like, I'm not a girl. If someone's doing a fashion show or running a marathon, I would obviously do the fashion show as my personality, but some people wouldn't do fashion shows. They would go after
sports.
Okay. And I am for sports. Like, I dance, I guess, to follow to my favorite sport, but I think people try to change what they want. Like, someone could love...
for another person to be accepted? Is that what you're saying? That's an age-old thing. People have always done that, Breanna.
Yeah, it still happens. Like, if I am a person who loves pink, obviously, who loves fashion shows, who wants to wear high heels all the time, but then, let's use it for an example. I have a friend named Emmy, who loves sports, and she loves to run, and she hates pink, and she just doesn't like that kind of girly stuff. Mm-hmm. And I would say, oh, well, I hate pink. It's like so like, ugh. And I want to go, let's go run this after school. And I would hate it. So I think people are trying to influence people to do other stuff. Like, they try to change what they want to do something else.
Okay.
To please that person. That's how, and I don't know if I've told you this, but my teacher, who's a really, really good teacher, there's a student in my class who's a girl, her name is Kira. She changes herself so much to fit her. But Kira wants to be my teacher, literally wants to live in her house, wake up every morning, do whatever she does.
But I think that is somewhat of a mentality of being human. Emerson said, I'm going to quote him, everybody's ship looks good except that which we sail in. Meaning that we look at another person's life, and Kim Kardashian, and we think we want that. Not me, but I'm saying the people that watch her or people such as her, and you think that she has that wonderful life and you want it because of either the money, the looks, the cars, the boyfriend, whatever's going on. Okay, so that's a character of human nature, honey. And are you saying that in the world of 10-year-old little girls are being influenced by that and instead of being themselves, they try to change to fit an ideal of something else that is not them, you give it back to me. Like I said, I don't want to talk for you, honey. You tell me. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Even as 10 years old?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, well, and we skipped over it when we said what? Okay, you said drama and people being influenced. But now let's talk, because you're 10. And see, years ago, it would be unheard of that we would be having this conversation about sex, drugs, money, cars, gays, abortion. You know, that would be unheard of, that I would be talking to someone who is 10 years old, 11 in August, 11 years old, about these issues. But you're telling me that in today's time, these issues are things that 10-year-olds are aware of and feel strongly about? Mm-hmm. Really? Okay, well, let's talk about drugs. Tell me your feeling. Well, you don't know, I mean, how can I say you don't have any feelings about drugs? I'm going to ask you the question. Talk to me about drugs. What do you know? What do you feel? What do you think? What is your opinion, like your granddaddy's? Not your granddaddy's opinion on drugs, but what?
I think drugs.
What's the purpose? Why is there such a craze, if you will, for drugs? Not just now.
Because people want to be cool. They want to. I don't care. Like, I don't care if I stand up right now and dance. Like, I wouldn't have a care in the world because I don't care what people think.
Okay, we can stand up and do it. Follow it up.
Well,
Follow
let
it up.
me go back to what I'm saying.
Follow it up.
Let me go back to
Show
what I'm
it.
saying.
Show it. Show it. Just one thing. Let's see it.
Let me go back to what I'm saying.
I think I just crushed your words, didn't I? Okay, go ahead, honey. Yes, I'll let you finish. I threw you from your speech.
Yeah, she can do it, but oh yeah, I will do it actually because I don't care if people think. What do you want me to do?
Anything, any dance, just do it. Whatever you feel.
No, give me something to do though.
Move your hands. Move. I would say more than that. There you go. Okay.
I don't care. Like,
okay.
But still, people they want to be. They do drugs because people are doing drugs, so they're like, oh, gotta do those. Those are so cool. Everyone's doing it. Like the shoes, Toms, like I'm wearing them. Mm-hmm. So many people have them actually, because they've gone from one person, and so people, I like them because they're comfortable. They're cute little stylish shoes. But some people are like, ooh, she has them, gotta have them. So drugs are like that too. Like if a cool guy sells drugs or does drugs, and then his friend will be like, oh, well, I mean, if he does it and he's cool, well, I guess it'll make me cool. So, yeah, that's
the motivation of the young people. It's to be cool to do drugs.
And I'm going to change our whole thing we're talking about. I'm going to go back to astrology.
Okay.
And then we'll go back to the stuff on the table after this.
Okay.
So, you said...
Not that you're taking over the show or anything at all. I can see that.
Yeah. I wouldn't have a care in the world if you go over there and sit down. Like, anyway.
I know that. For all the Leo risings,
yeah.
Strong.
So, if someone, what was my question? I've had this, and then I thought
you were talking about astrology.
I know that, but
astrology.
Wait, hold on. Oh yeah. So, if you're like earlier, you said that you could be, I think it was what are you if you're born in the month of June?
Gemini.
So you could be Gemini, but you could act so much like, I act a lot like a Leo, let's say that. Is there any way that someone could change what they are? Like I could be a Virgo, but is there any way someone could change that?
That's a good question. Can an ear of corn change its nature? Can it be a tomato?
No, but it'd be really cool. But in a couple of years, I bet you could hold one up to the sun. All right, change you. All right, now, look, now it's a Granny Smith apple.
So you're saying that the things that are coming in the world is going to be far different from what we can even imagine now. I think I just heard you say that, Breanna. I don't know if you meant to say that.
Yep.
What's coming down the line?
Oh, no,
based
that
upon
wasn't what I was
the
talking about.
granddaddy, going back to him, his ideas no longer fit in this generation. You've got to move along. You've got to get progressive. You've got to envelop and embrace all of the things that are coming, that are here, that are unfolding, if you're going to operate in this world and not be miserable and stuck. You said all that, but I just put it in these words.
So, I don't know, it could be this book. You know, it might even be this book.
What, and that just happens to be my book that you picked up?
Yeah, because, or maybe it was.
Well, let's do something.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
I gotta prove my point though.
Okay, let's do that. Let's prove your point. And what would be your point, sweetie?
You gotta wait. Let me get to it.
Okay.
Well, I can't find it in this book. It's not in Just Around the Corner. It's a new book, but everyone has a story. So what? That makes me like so you were writing. Oh no, nothing's gonna happen. That falls down. So what? Makes it life. Like if I have to fall down and break my neck, it's life. It ain't like you're gonna have a perfect life of. Well, I'm not saying that you're not gonna ever break any bones. Like you're gonna go. You may not ever break any bones, which is fine. But maybe everyone has to go to the dentist. So what? It's life. Get over it. Yeah. So now let's go back to this because we've been talking about it.
Okay, but that was a good point. I want to stay with there, honey, because you're bringing up such profound thoughts for someone that's 10 years old. And I'm saying that not only you, but the generation of you, the 10-year-olds, are also experiencing these type of revolutionary thoughts, revolutionary thinking. And even the younger generation, the ones that are 8 years old and 7 years old and 6 years old and 5 years old, and the ones that are being born, they're coming in with a different consciousness. And I think the fact that you have been talking about your granddaddy and his stuck way of thinking is emblematic of this entire show.
Yeah.
That if we're going to be happy, whatever that means, and happiness is a fleeting thing, but if we're going to be happy and evolve and get along, we're going to have to release stuck ideas, the way of doing something the same way. Just because you've done it that way does not mean it's the right way or that it is the way that should continue. I have almost let this entire show go. I always do this, Breanna. So let's get this. Let's see. I'm going to do it backwards this time. Okay? We always pull something. I'm going to do this the next show, not this one. I'm going to save that one. But we're going to pull one of these papers like I always do. And what I usually do is pull it at the beginning of the show. But this time, we're pulling it at 3/4 of the way through the show. And let's see how it is relevant to what we've been talking about.
Go all the way to the bottom.
Any way you want to do it. Okay, let's read it and see what it says, honey.
All right. If it ain't practical and
Applicable?
actually, yeah, what you said, then it ain't genuine truth.
Whoa! Okay. If it is not, if it ain't practical and applicable, then it ain't genuine truth. Oh, wait a minute. There was some more. You left off.
I know. I just stopped there because I knew you would say something as soon as I heard a period.
But let's stop there.
Told you.
If you cannot use it, practical means that it makes sense for you. That's what you've been talking about. You might not like cherries. I like cherries. So I'm going to eat them because I like them. That's practical for me. What was the other word? Applicable.
Yeah.
Okay, unless, no matter what truth, whether you find it in the Bible or whether you find it in those tarot cards or whether you find it in this book, which happens to be another one of my books, but it does not matter. If you can use it, then it's good. Yeah. And if you can't use it,
like with the marker that's dried out, throw it away. Like you don't need to use it like hoard. Okay, back to what I was saying. Okay. It must work for you or it ain't worth the flip of a burnt pancake. It must work for me or it ain't worth nothing. If it don't work for me, throw it away, you know?
Right. That's exactly right, honey. And everybody has got to come to that place where they can be comfortable enough to say, all right, I don't care, I can get up and dance. And then when you put on the spot, you do it. But you don't think about it, honey. You don't think about what somebody's going to say about that.
Yeah,
Because
I don't care. Like,
okay, when you say you don't care, all right, look at me. Look at me right in the eyes, because I'm going to bore you down with this. You don't care. What does that mean?
I don't care about their opinion.
Okay, but, all right, let's say, for example, somebody said, you just got up and you did that dance or whatever, and someone said, well, that sure was a stupid dance she did.
Well, I don't care. I liked it. It ain't your opinion. I don't care. It was me who did it, not you.
Now, wait a minute though, Breanna. What about if somebody else says, oh, wow, that was the best dance I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody do such a wonderful dance. She is so talented and wonderful and loving and gracious.
Then I would say, oh, you're right. And they would share the same opinion as me.
Okay.
First of all, you're right, obviously, because I am all those things. But
no, I was trying to make it a point, honey.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
You know everything's
that whether
true.
the person liked it and praised you to the hilt, or denigrated you and told you it was bad, if you really didn't care, what the person said, whether making you good or bad, would make no difference. That's what I was trying to drive home.
Yeah.
Okay, well, give that back to me, what I just said. Good or bad, whether they say you're marvelous or terrible, why would it not matter?
Because it's their opinion, not my opinion.
It's not truth.
It's not. I mean, I could hate that dance, which actually I think it's pretty good. But anyway, I could hate that. Let's say I hated that dance, and someone else said they hated it. I would be like, all right, well, that's your opinion. Cool, I have that same opinion. But someone who said it's bad, I don't go up to them like, oh, you're wrong. How stupid of you.
There you go.
I don't care.
There you go.
All right, well, thank you for at least making an observation, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's what you're driving the point home about your granddaddy, honey, because he could have all of those opinions and take them to his grave, should he so choose. But don't be so identified with them that it causes him unrest, causes him to be upset in saying that.
Yeah.
Because if he was to change his ideas, all right, Breanna, think about this. I think